If you've struggled with your marketing, trying to understand why does your marketing not feel like it's working? I've been there, and this is what I've learned. You don't need more marketing hacks. You need marketing with meaning. Today, I'm sharing 5 key shifts that helped me go from marketing that was dull and ineffective to effective marketing that gets clients. This isn't a do more list, it's a guide to do better. If you stay with me to the end, I'll show you how to start applying these shifts immediately, even if you're brand new to business.
It's time to reinvent.
Hi, I'm Priscilla Shumba, and I work with Christian women entrepreneurs who are ready to market with purpose and see real results. I've walked the road from scattered and overwhelmed to structured and strategic. And these 5 marketing shifts are the roadmap that I wish I had when I started. So let's dive in. Shift number 1. The secret to great marketing is intentionality. It's not about tools. It's not about the platform. It's not even about hacking the algorithm. It's the intention behind your marketing that determines whether you get ROI or you just get reach. I've seen simple Zoom webinars lead to actual clients, while glossy, high-produced pieces of content get tons of likes and 0 sales. And I get it. I've been there. I've made content that felt amazing to create because as a creative, I get a lot of joy from creating content, and I was proud to share it, but it didn't convert. And the reason it didn't convert is because it wasn't designed to convert. Okay. Remember intentionality. You have to create content that's designed to convert. So it was like you're reading a really great book that ends with no invitation, no action, no direction. It didn't lead the person anywhere. All it did was maybe give you some really amazing, profound thoughts, things you reflected on, but it didn't tell you what to do. And a lot of us, when we're creating content, we fall into that trap of really making content that feels good, but it's not designed to convert. There's no intentionality behind it. This is a tip. Ask yourself, if you're creating content each week, what do I want my audience to do? And then build your content with that as the goal. If you want your audience to understand that you are the obvious choice for this service that creates this transformation, then your content has got to show that. You've got to lead with speaking to that exact client and the pain and how you solve that client's problem. That's completely different from just creating feel-good content and then expecting it to convert. Shift number 2, put on your CEO brain. Let's talk about it because as Christian entrepreneurs, female entrepreneurs, entrepreneurs in general, sometimes we fall into the trap. And actually, I wouldn't say it's a trap. We talk about purpose a lot and we talk about mission a lot. And we feel deeply called to make an impact. And that matters. Like mission and vision will carry you when your motivation runs dry and everything is going wrong. That mission and vision is what keeps you going even when things don't look like they're shaping up the way that you expect. So I don't want to diminish that. But I also want to share a personal moment of clarity. I was creating all this content and I kept wondering, is it me? Is it my offer? Is my work not valuable? And then I heard these words. I think it was in an interview. Before you can make a significant impact, you must first create something of significance. And that stopped me in my tracks because I was so focused on the bigger mission, the reason I wanted to help female entrepreneurs and I wanted to help Christian women in business. But the way that I can help them is by creating something of value. We can get so wrapped up in service that our marketing turns into like charity vibes. We're giving this philanthropy energy. But even in God's economy, value precedes generosity. You have to create something of value, monetize that thing of value so that you can be able to fund philanthropy and to fund the mission. 1 Timothy 5:18 talks about this. The worker is worthy of their wages. So, back to putting on your CEO hat. You are the CEO. And Your duty is to create a clear path to the money. And so when you think about that, even with your marketing, like we said, the first step is stepping away from that feel good marketing and really creating something with intention. And if you're the CEO, the intention is, yes, to spread your mission and your vision, but it's to keep the lights on and it's to create value that allows you to serve the people that you're called to serve. And that's how you accomplish your mission. Put on your CEO hat, create content that has got sales in mind, because sales are the lifeblood of a business. Shift number 3 is the mechanics of marketing begin with belief. Like the most powerful persuasion tool, it's not tech, it's not funnels, it's belief. Say what you believe, because when you do, the people who are meant to follow you will feel it. They'll say, this is my person. And it doesn't have to be something deep or something profound, but it just has to be real. Why do you believe that your offer works? Why do you believe that your method is different? There's a reason that you built a business. There's a gap that you saw. There's something that you saw that wasn't working well or effectively. Communicate the belief that you have behind what you offer. And that's the message that your content needs. That way you cut through the noise. A trap that we all fall into is like sounding trendy. And sometimes we get that because we're using AI a lot. No judgment about using AI. I use AI a lot and I talk about how I use AI in some of my other videos, which I'll link below. But you have to be careful that your content doesn't become generic. Use the AI to amplify your difference. Like, why did you do this? Why do you think you're different? You became a coach, you became a consultant because you believed what? People often say that marketing is the transfer of enthusiasm. And I'll go even further, like marketing is the transfer of belief. Having that conviction in your marketing will attract the people for whom it was meant. Shift number 4, the signature of marketing is testing. Marketing isn't something that you can say you're finished. It's something you continuously tweak. It's like you build it in the air because you don't know what works until you test it. And let me say that again, there is no perfect marketing. In fact, a perfect marketing strategy is all about constantly testing and learning and finding what works, because good marketing is like on a continuum. This works, and then this works a little better, and then this works even more better, but it's just a continuum. And I like to think about what Elon Musk says. And it's a reframe for a lot of us who've come from other environments. Entrepreneurship isn't about being right. It's about being less wrong, faster. So that heart of a student, the mind of a student, if you bring that to every aspect of business and marketing, try it, break it, fix it. When you learn something new, think about how you can apply it and think about it as a test. Our ideas don't have any value until the rubber meets the road. A trap that we fall into is, this is the way that I do it. This is the way that I create my videos, or this is the way that I create my podcast. That mindset has a cousin, and that cousin is, this marketing isn't working. And that's not true. Marketing is about testing. And if you're testing, the marketing is working, because it's a continuum of good, a little better, a little bit even better, not so good. Okay, try this. If you bring that mindset and it didn't hit the way you thought it would, think about it. What was it that didn't hit? Maybe it's the copy. Maybe it's the call to action. Maybe it's the angle that you came at it from. Maybe it's the image. Change something and test it again. Sometimes we think we need to create heaps and heaps of content. If you don't have to, if we have content that has intentionality and is leading someone somewhere, right? Lead generation. You've got to lead people somewhere. Continue to make little tweaks on that core content to see what works better, to see if a change in this will help. Talk to your AI and get variations of that content so that you can improve and you can repeat and you can test and you can learn. So marketing is a student's game. So bring that student mind to marketing. Shift number 5 is never overpromise. Be honest about where you are. If you're in the testing phase or you're just starting out, say so. You know, if your offer is still evolving, let people know and thank them for trusting you early. There's this trap where we feel like if we're in business, we need to bring that big brand energy to be effective. And people are actually tired of that big brand energy and faceless and polished marketing. They want real, they want human. People buy from people they know, people they like, and people they trust. And when you're transparent, I talk about this in sort of the traps of trying to sell. Sometimes we're not confident to sell because the way in which we're selling is misaligned to where we are in business. And align the way in which you're selling by just being honest. This is a beta offer. You're a founding member. This is still evolving. And then you compensate the people who trust you early. People can forgive anything if it's open and it's transparent. What creates a lot of fear is when your marketing sets the bar up here and you feel that your delivery is here. Of course, there's going to be fear. You want those things to be aligned, and you do that by being honest and being transparent. And of course, the more reps you get into doing whatever you do, the better it gets. And then you can bring your marketing higher, and the service is also higher. So also think about that. Never overpromise, but always over-deliver. And that way you'll always have happy clients who refer you to other people, who talk about you, who give you great reviews, which will help you again to generate more leads. And leads that come from word of mouth are honestly the best. It doesn't get any better than that. So here's what I hope you take away. Marketing isn't magic. It's alignment. When your intention meets structure and belief meets clarity, marketing becomes a tool for growth and stewardship. So don't just try to look impressive. Build something of significance. Build something of value. Speak to the pain points of the people that you serve. You may have a great product, but if you don't know how to communicate it, if you don't know how to market it, if you've experienced this, which most of us have, you know how that feels. You're not going anywhere fast. Follow these shifts, implement them. I'm going to be posting many videos on these topics to help you transform your marketing so you don't have to go through everything that most new entrepreneurs, including myself, go through when we're getting into this marketing, which is a huge learning curve for most people. So just remember, your unique voice matters. Communicate your belief to the right people and have that lead to clients. Please come back. I share a lot of ideas and frameworks and things I've learned along the way that I'd love to share so we can grow together.